Hello, this is Mike over at Sound Investment in Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to try this setup on the router table thing and see whether or not we get any good video here. I want to show you how I'm going to make a grill for speaker box. So I've got a speaker box. This is actually a top plate. It fits around the subwoofer, so it countersinks the subwoofer in the top of the enclosure. And then I'm going to have this top plate that's made out of 1/4 inch. I put a rabbet on the bottom of there, so I've got a spot for my grill metal to go in. So I want to talk about a rabbet. A rabbet I do with this big bit right here. This is a rabbet bit. This bushing can be changed to change the depth of that rabbet that we got going on in there. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to fire up my dust collection, so it's probably going to be loud here for a minute. Actually, after I stick this on here. This is transfer tape, so put that on my my template. This template fits in my receiving groove, right? So inside the groove. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to transfer it onto this piece of grill metal. And then I'm going to use a 1/4 inch bit, and I'm going to cut this out. This 1/4 inch bit is just about finished in my world. It's starting to get a little bit dull, and it's cutting the wood not so great. So this will probably finish it off completely after I cut this grill metal with it. But real quick, I'm going to pull this template tape off of here. It's just double-sided tape. It's pretty thin stuff. I use a lot of this stuff for transferring all kinds of different shapes. I use a flush trim bit in the top of my router, so the bearing is at the bottom of the bit if the router was in the correct location, which a router was not intended to be in a router table. So you got to think about it being handheld. So the bearing is on the bottom. This bit is what we call an upcut bit. So in this case, it's not really going to send my chips up, it's going to send my chips down. And the reason we do all that is so that when we put it in the router table and we turn the dust collection system on, it pulls the chips down into the router table out through the dust collection. So just a couple tips if you're going to build your own router table, how to call what to call your bits so that you're not getting the wrong bit. If I was to get a down cut bit, which changes the spiral and the flutes on the bit, then it would shoot the chips up out of the table at me, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to cut the outside of this. Just set it on here, like so. Some people like to rough cut this stuff first. I hate cutting this stuff in general, so I just like to cut it as little as possible, and I'm going to let the router bit do the work here. So I'm going to turn the dust collection on and see what this does. As you can see, it sort of hits and skips through the holes in the grill metal. That's why I don't like doing it so much, because it's just kind of a sketchy router bit. Or not the router bit itself, but the whole process is a little bit sketchy. Hit this with a sanding block because it's a little rough on the edges. I won't cut myself up later. Just take this burr off the outer edge. It's easier when you still got it attached to your piece. This makes everything a lot more rigid. Now obviously you've seen some other videos out there of people doing exotic drills where they make a positive and a negative mold and put it in a press. I've done that before too, but this installation is not nearly that exotic. I just need to have something to protect this subwoofer. It's just a very small enclosure in the back of an SUV, and it needs to have some protection. Always make sure I pull my transfer tape off as quickly as possible, because if you forget about it years down the way, like this piece, sometimes it's a lot harder to get off and it wants to pull your wood away. That one didn't, but so now I've got this piece of grill metal. There is sort of a top side and a bottom side to this stuff. The bottom side is flat. The top side, the edges are rolled under a little bit, just the way the expanded metal is made. So now she fits down inside the rabbet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this piece, and I'm going to wrap it around the top side. Put my material under this way. After I get the material down in there, then I'll lay my grill metal in, glue my grill metal in, and we'll have a real nice grill with a piece of grill cloth on top. Or maybe I won't. I kind of like the way that looks anyways. Probably just sand this edge a little bit. Put this top plate together with that top plate and do a round over all the way around it so that it's nice and soft for somebody to look at. So if you're in need of some kind of custom work and you're looking for a shop to do it, here I am. Sound Investment, Columbus, Ohio. Have a nice day.